Hi guys, my name is Modi and you are welcome to Modi Speaks. So an honest and courageous black woman is currently getting cancelled by the black community. Now what did she do? Well, she had the audacity to break code and expose what many other black individuals know is true, but are supposed to keep it a secret in order to sustain the white people are evil narrative. Now, what exactly am I talking about? Well, this woman had the bravery to come on the internet and proclaim that she prefers working under middle-aged white men. And boom, just like that, she became a traitor, a sellout. Internalized racism. Now, according to this black woman, she feels more supported and less micromanaged working under older white male managers because they just let her do her job, as opposed to people from minority races who feel like she's in a competition with them. That's basically what she said in her video, and now her own community is trying to cancel her on the internet simply because she had a personal experience that she shared with the world. Guys, we really need to talk, but before we dive into the video though, please consider subscribing to the channel if you've not already. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or supporting the channel in any way that you can. Alright, let's take a look at this video.
If you offer me a job and I find out my manager, my direct supervisor is going to be a minority, babe, keep that DEI hire and keep that job offer too. I prefer to work under white men, okay? White, middle-aged, men with a family, AARP eligible, the ones that got the AAA, the ones that eat off the IHOP 55 plus menu, you know what I mean? The Medicare eligible ones, give me that. Give me that. Because as far as I'm concerned, the minorities, they like to make you pay back the dues that they had to pay in 1987 when they first got their job as the model minority. And they want to make sure that you have to do it too. Meanwhile, white man, he sees me, he goes, yep, let me give you this special project. What do you need? What's going to advance your career? How can I help you? None of the passive aggressiveness, none of the micromanaging, none of that extra shit, right? Give me Jim, Bob, Bill, give me that. Don't give me the minority, because as far as I'm concerned, anybody that looks like me or identifies as somebody who would be a DEI hire, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not with it. I'm not with it. Y'all got a chip on y'all shoulder that I personally do not have the brain power to deal with. So as far as I'm concerned, hand me to the nearest white man. Thank you. If you offer me a job and I find out my manager, my direct supervisor is going to be a minority, babe, keep that DEI hire and keep that job offer too. I prefer to work under white men, okay? White, middle-aged, men with a family, AARP eligible, the ones that got the AAA, the ones that eat off the IHOP 55 plus menu, you know what I mean? The Medicare eligible ones, give me that. Give me that. Because as far as I'm concerned, the minorities, they like to make you pay back the dues that they had to pay in 1987 when they first got their job as the model minority. And they want to make sure that you have to do it too. Meanwhile, white man, he sees me, he goes, yep, let me give you this special project. What do you need? What's going to advance your career? How can I help you? None of the passive aggressiveness, none of the micromanaging, none of that extra shit, right? Give me Jim, Bob, Bill, give me that. Don't give me the minority, because as far as I'm concerned, anybody that looks like me or identifies as somebody who would be a DEI hire, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not with it. I'm not with it. Y'all got a chip on y'all shoulder that I personally do not have the brain power to deal with. So as far as I'm concerned, hand me to the nearest white man. Thank you.
We are being told and taught to hate white people. We are being indoctrinated by the community to despise and hate white people, especially white men. We are made to believe that our biggest enemies as black women or as black people is the white man or white people. But time and time again, when it comes to reality, we have had always the exact opposite experience. Okay, now let's be clear. This woman didn't come on the internet to say that white men are superior. Okay, she never said that. She also didn't say that she hates black people or working under black people. She didn't even generalize. She spoke from her own work experience, which is exactly what many other professionals quietly feel but would not say out loud. Many reasonable people of color know this. They know that the so-called diversity spaces can often be toxic and more performative, but they don't always have the bravery to come out and say it out loud. But this woman, she broke the script and she said it out loud. She actually said, I feel respected by the very people I'm supposed to fear, and for that she is being shredded online. Just take a look.
So somebody sent me a video of a black woman saying that she preferred to work for a white man over somebody who looked like her or somebody who would be considered a DEI hire. And honestly, that is just a really wild take to me. I get it. There are people who have had harmful experiences and have been hurt by leaders who look like them or that they expected more from. And I'm not here to invalidate your experience whatsoever. If that happened to you, I'm really sorry that happened to you. But turning that into a blanket statement and generalizing it, it's just a really lazy narrative. And then this coming from our own community is just very harmful. Y'all say y'all want to be promoted, but still hold these same stereotypes about Black people or other minorities in leadership. You don't think that those same stereotypes exist outside of our community too? The issue is not DEI hires. The issue is the environment that they're in, the kind of leader that they chose to be. That does not mean that automatically white men are better leaders. I'm in my early 30s. I've been in the C-suite. I've coached leaders of every background. Bad leadership shows up in all identities. What we should be focused on instead is making sure that all the employees have consistent employee experiences and that these leaders are actually being trained and coached properly to make sure that their team is set up for success. We just got to be honest with ourselves and call this what it is. This is the system of corporate America. It was designed with white men in mind. Okay, let's just be for real. It was never designed for marginalized or minority people to thrive or to even exist in. Okay, not as leaders or not as individual contributors. That's what we really need to be spending our energy and time addressing.
Now, talk about Black fatigue and insufferable individuals. Did you even watch this video, ma'am? Did you watch it? The Black woman in question was talking about her personal experience, her lived experience. She wasn't generalizing at all. She is sharing her personal experience in the corporate world, just telling us who in her own career has supported her the most. Now, how is that a wild claim? How is that supposed to be something that doesn't make any sense? Now, this reminds me of the saying that the most dangerous thing for a narrative is a person who refuses to conform. Okay? Now, the narrative is that white men are our biggest enemies as Black people. They hate us. They despise us. Okay? But is that really true? Is that the reality? We all know it is not. If we start comparing and contrasting the treatment we receive from our so-called Black female superiors versus that of white middle-aged men in workplaces, they are eating her alive because she spoke the truth. Oh, we gotta be honest with ourselves and call this what it is, which is that the American system was designed for the white man, and that is why these white men have the right attitude in corporate spaces. That is why they help the minority workers maximize their potential and attain a successful career. That is why these white men, they have the best attitude in the workforce. Instead, we should talk about how the system forces minority leaders in workplaces to flaunt their power and oppress you so that you don't surpass them. It is the white man's fault. It is them. They hate us. It is white supremacy. That is what we should spend more time and more energy addressing. Okay, ma. We heard you. Next.
Bill, give me that. Don't give me the minority, because as far as I'm concerned, anybody that looks...
And I know y'all like to say that the worst type of manager to have is a Black woman, but I disagree with that. I feel like the worst type of manager to have is a white man.
Now this one, look at her very well, okay? Immediately she popped up on my screen and started talking. I knew she would be part of the keepers and the propagators of this narrative. And my hypothesis was confirmed halfway through her video, okay, by a very significant factor. Now, I'm not going to say what it is. I'm going to let you be the judge for yourself. So let's watch.
Because the past two experiences I've had with having employers and having a general manager that was a white man or a supervisor that was a white man, it ended in the worst type of situation. It's like...
Did you hear that? Did you? Okay, listen again.
A white man, it ended in the worst type of situation. It's like...
That explains everything, okay? That is all the explanation you need right here.
It ended in the worst type of situation. It's like, especially the ones that get the position from nepotism, they treat the company the worst. They have no respect for their employees, no respect for the company. They don't know how to really talk to people, whatever. They put on this fake personality. They just the best, manager, they doing the most, but they really be doing the least. And I know y'all like to say that the worst type of manager to have is a Black woman, but I disagree with that.
That constant chirp of her smoke detector. That explains the reason why she thought her white male bosses weren't good for her. If you are too lazy or too undisciplined to change the battery in your own smoke detector, if you would rather have your ears pierced every single second by the chirp of that ceiling bird, if you would rather opt to go through the torture of the noise simply because you are not disciplined enough to replace the battery, then you are just a lousy human being, and I'm sure that you would also be lousy in your workplace. You cannot be an irresponsible individual in your home and then magically be a very responsible person in your workplace. Doesn't work like that. Y'all can't be saying like these white men are the best managers because they don't even know how to speak to employees. They got no respect for them employees. She has the nerve to say that her managers don't know how to speak to the employees when she herself talks like that. You've got to be kidding me, people. My guess is that she's just venting because her white managers would not tolerate with her ratchetness and her horrible work ethic. That is my best guess, okay? Because from the little I can see from her, just by watching her speak and everything around her in her surroundings, she would be a very problematic employee. Anyway, many other black individuals came for this black woman for sharing her personal experience with the world. The black liberals were really mad at her, and as I speak to you right now, they are still shredding her on TikTok. But one thing I won't do is give these horrible individuals more airtime on this channel, okay? I would not. Now, this woman is not an outlier. She is not. Her experience is not an isolated experience. Instead, her experience is the mirror reflection of the experiences of so many others in the black community. But because she is brave enough to say it out loud, she's being gaslighted into silence. These people want us to be so oppressed, to be angry, to blame whiteness and white people. So anything outside that box is seriously punished. And that is exactly what they are trying to do to that black woman, okay? I call it ideological tyranny because that is what it is. But here is the deeper problem. We have raised an entire generation to believe that oppression is the only lens through which a black person can be seen as authentic, that unless you are oppressed, angry, and blaming the system, then you are not really black. What this woman did is dangerous, but it is not dangerous because it is harmful, but because it challenges the very foundation of victimhood culture. It says, maybe my story is different. Maybe not everything is racist. Maybe white men are not my enemy. And that shakes the entire progressive framework. If she has said that she prefers working for black bosses or black women or literally anyone except a white male, she would be on the cover of Essence magazine by now. We've seen it time and time again. When marginalized groups express their preference for their own or anyone but white men, it is applauded. It is called cultural authenticity. It is called empowerment. But what these unreasonable black folks forget easily is that good leadership has no skin color. Respect has no gender. If you found a boss, whether he's black, white, male, female, who empowers you to grow, that is a gift, not a betrayal. What is really disgusting is that people attacking her are more interested in controlling black identity than empowering black individuals. And frankly, that is not activism. That is a cult behavior. So to you, the woman who is brave enough to speak the truth, do not apologize. You didn't fail your community. Your community failed you the moment they demanded obedience over honesty. But as always, guys, these are my thoughts, these are my opinions, but feel free to share yours in the comment section below, but do so respectfully. Also, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, honestly, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe to the channel. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or buy me a coffee if you like, as a way of supporting the channel. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. For now, peace.